So hello and welcome back to the channel. I've not said that in a good few months. Apparently I read today is 100 days since official lockdown began, and we started before that because we took the kids out of school because I wasn't convinced by the whole thing, the whole government and all that. But I'm not going to get into that today. I wanted to talk to you, give a bit of an update about where I'm going to be going, what I've been doing over the last 100 or so days, and yeah, just I've got a new lens. Yeah, let's just kick off. I've got a new lens. It's one that I saved up for a while, and then when business went crazy and I lost loads of clients overnight, I didn't buy it because I thought I could probably use that money elsewhere. But after I've picked up starting to get a business rolling again, I thought I'm not going to be going out anywhere to do any landscape stuff for a good while because we're still staying at home. We're still homeschooling the kids. We've got a baby who's just one, and I'm not convinced by the whole immunity of a 1-year-old dealing with everything that's out there at the moment. So I decided that I'm probably going to get a lot more use out of this than not. So I bought it. It's a Laowa, Laowa, Laowa. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. 25mm f2.8 ultra macro with 2.5 to 5 magnification on it, and it's a weird old lens. If you look at it, it's quite weird. The company do another one which is like comes out this far and this middle bit comes out really far, and it's good for sort of going through stuff with video work and stuff like that. But this is a bit of an odd lens. It extends, that's at 5 magnification, and I've only taken 2 images with it so far, just as kind of test images. It's nice. The lens is well built. It's got a few plasticky parts, but it's mainly metal. It's quite a nice slide. It's fully manual, so, and it only goes up to f16. So I was a bit concerned about the getting a good depth of field, because obviously up at f16 everything's going to be darker. So that's why I invested in, they also do a ring light which sits on the, it's specific for this lens, it sits on the where the lens cap comes off like that, and you plug it in. If I can find a power bank, you plug it into your power bank like so, and it gives off a nice warm LED light like that. One thing I did notice is that it is very warm. The LEDs are very warm, so when I post-processed these test shots, I had to cool them down a little bit because they were a bit too warm for my liking. But I've had 2 shots, one static subject and one, I'll turn that off because it's probably affecting the video. I've had a £20 note. Let me find that £20 note. I don't know how I've got a £20 note in my drawer, but I have. £20 note, and I focused on the Queen's left eye, I think, so you can see how ultra macro it is. I'll put the shot up in a minute at the end, but I'm really happy with that shot. It was obviously flat, so there was no real depth of field, but I wanted to test the focusing capability of it. Really, the plan is to learn a lot more about stacking my images and having a subject that I can use. I have ordered a macro rail so I can make slight sort of microscopic adjustments and take a number of frames and then stack them all together. But I'm really happy with this so far. This bit only turned up today, and I've got the 2 shots that I will put up in a minute today. But I think it will be a good investment. I think it will allow me, if you've been watching my channel for any amount of time, you'll know that I like macro, and I was quite happy with my extension tubes, but I broke one, the one that I used a lot, and I just felt like I wanted a little bit more from my macro. I wanted to really get into the eyes of the bugs and really get into the detail of, say, that £20 note. It's detail that you haven't ever seen before. So I'll put them up in a minute. As I say, really quite happy with them, and yeah, hopefully I'm going to direct this channel at least in the next few months, probably the rest of 2020 at least. I'll be doing a lot more macro stuff. Fortunately, macro is one of my most searched YouTube search terms, so hopefully it will interest a lot of you. If you're here for the landscape stuff, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be going out shooting any of that at the moment, but I do have an entire back catalogue that you can check out if you wish. So what else have I been doing during lockdown? You might have seen a previous video that I did right at the beginning that I was launching a podcast. Well, I limited that to one series of 10 episodes because I wanted it to be sort of a project whilst I was out of work. It was something that I could concentrate on and focus on and put my undivided time into. Now I'm trying to get work back on track, I suppose, although it's a very difficult process to go through. That's when I decided I was going to put a limit to the amount of episodes. So I put the limit to 10 episodes for the first series, and then I'm going to, at some point over the next probably next couple of months, I'll listen to them all back and see what I can improve on, see what I liked, maybe get a few other people. It's nice to have other people listen to it with sort of constructive criticism ears on, I suppose, and tell me what works and what doesn't. If you aren't into podcasts, I also launched a blog, a website along with the podcast, so it's photographyish.com. There's a link on there to the podcast, but there's also most of the ramblings, shall we call them. So on the podcast I start off with a rambling and then about something or other, photography and ish, so life, and then I interview somebody, a photographer or a creative person, and then finish off with another ramble. So all the rambles are sort of transcribed into blog posts, so if you don't want to listen to my voice any more than you have to, you can read them in your own time if you want as well. I interviewed some fantastic people on the podcast. I was really fortunate. I really wanted to have a 50-50 split between male photographers and female photographers, but that didn't pan out, and someone did call me out on it, and I did say, well, I have that, what the initial idea was. I spoke to 5 ladies and 5 blokes, and only 2 of the ladies got back to me and said yes, so I had to sort of go through the rest of my shortlist, and whoever got back to me first, I sort of put them in and got them interviewed. But I met some really nice new people as well. I interviewed people that you probably know, and I interviewed people that don't have YouTube accounts. So there's a chap on Twitter called Ben James who's doing amazing work. He's very well featured on weather forecast photography, and he runs a competition every day on Twitter. And I've met some nice new friends, as well as chatting in more depth to people I already know and that you perhaps know as well. Apart from that, it's been much of a muchness. Steady away, trying to get business back on track, trying to spend time with the kids, trying to do a bit of housework and sort different things out. Not getting a haircut, that's why I feel a little bit more tramp-like than usual. But yeah, it's been difficult. I'm sure it's been difficult for a lot of you watching as well, but I'm hoping that I can keep my creativity going now I've got this new lens. I can do a lot more at home. I did order it a while ago, but it's taken a while to get here with all the delays with postage and stuff. But I'm really quite happy. As I say, I'll pop the images up now for you, because I think I've rambled on enough and I keep stuttering over my words because I've not done this for a good while. But as I said at the beginning, I hope you're well. Get in touch, check out the podcast, And yeah, just stay safe, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. I'll pop the pictures up now.